What's up, familia? Welcome inside the Big Week. Hope you guys are doing good. Keeping between the lines. Got your load secure. All right, man. So I'm on the late train on this. Exactly where I want to be, Holmes. All right. I always, well, not always, but I like being on the late train on most things. I don't like talking about it when everybody's talking about it, when it's on everybody's mouths. Once everybody talks about it, Holmes, and gets their emotions all out of it and everything, then that's where I come in. So for those that know me, you guys already know, man, I'm on the late train on a lot of things, dog. Exactly the way I want it to be, homie. So the whole incident that happened with Machete, with Danny Trejo and his homeboy Mario, I think it is, man. So I've never met Danny Trejo. I've never met him ever. His homeboy Mario, I've never met him either. I am familiar where he's from, with his barrio, but I've never met him. Now, Danny, I hear nothing but great things about him. Nothing but great things about him, dog. He's just a nice guy. He's a polite dude, respectable guy, everything. I've heard him on multiple podcasts, and that's the way he comes off, right? Is he really like that or not? I couldn't tell you because I've never met him, but I've never heard anything bad about him. Depends if you guys hear noise on the outside. Gotta have the windows down. It's a little warm. His homeboy that was there, I've heard the opposite of him. Okay, I've heard bad things about him. Again, I've never met the dude, so I couldn't tell you. All right, but I've heard bad things about him. So I saw everything. I saw the same thing everybody saw, man. The water balloon being thrown at the car, at him. Now, there's a couple of things that I was hearing. Okay, so they were at the parade somewhere in the San Fernando Valley, and somebody throws a water balloon at the ride. Okay, doesn't matter if it's a classic or if it's just a beat up, piece of junk, homie. You throw a water balloon, you throw a water balloon. It's a big sign of disrespect. Now, I have heard that at that parade, that's it's water balloons. It's part of the parade. I don't really know what that means. Is it okay just to be throwing water balloons at cars? I don't think so. But I have heard that, hey man, water balloons is a thing at that parade. Whatever that means, I got no idea. Okay. Danny gets off the ride. He confronts them. Now, I have not seen any video that has the clear audio of what was said. He looks pretty angry. He looks pretty upset. But I have not. If anybody knows any audio, hey man, you guys go ahead, can put in the comment section or something. But I have not seen any video that has crisp, clear audio of what he said when he approached the individual that threw the water balloon. Okay, like I said, he looked pretty angry. I don't know what he was saying, and it seemed pretty fast that the other dude threw a chingazo, dog, and dropped him, Hans. So I can assume that Danny went up there being disrespectful himself, rightfully so. I mean, he was angry, right? They threw a water balloon at him. So, but we don't know what was said. I did see a few interviews afterwards, and he was more calmado, and he said like, hey, he was just going out there saying, somebody said that it was acid and that he seemed worried. That's not really what I saw, but again, I don't know because I have not heard any clear-cut audio on what was said, Holmes, okay? It looked, all right? It looked, and I don't know this to be true, but just from what I saw, it looked like he approached them very aggressively, probably even disrespectfully. I don't know that to be true. I'm just saying that's the way it looked because I don't know what was said, okay? And for that person just to throw a chingazo pretty fast, it just seems like Danny went up there, talking some masa. And I'm not saying he shouldn't have. Okay, he was highly disrespected with what that person did. Now his homeboy, Mario, I think his name is, he goes up there and he gets dropped pretty damn fast, Holmes. Now, the thing about him, like I said, I've never met him. I don't hear good things about him, but I couldn't tell you if it's true or not. I just hear that he has a bad attitude, right? Again, I've never met him, so I couldn't tell you guys, right? But I will say, dog, him after getting dropped and getting up, busted up, right? I think he was busted up like on the eye. Gets up and then he picks up his tank top, homie, and he starts combing over his stomach, banging his barrio. You know, that to me, dog, I was just kind of like, all right, dog, you know, what's up with this character, right? You know, again, he was interviewed too, talking about that he's a stand-up for his homeboy, for his friend, in this case, it being Machete. I don't know why he needs to be, you know, picking up his slingshot, dog, combing over his barrio on his stomach, dog, over there trying to gangbang, you know, after he got dropped, right, and busted open. Now, there's a whole thing out there that, oh, they're skinheads. I have not seen anywhere that these people are skinheads. I'll make a different video on this, but I don't like the fact, dog, that whenever, you know, it's another race or ethnicity, whatever it is you want to claim it to be, it's like, oh, it was racially motivated. Look, maybe it was. Maybe it was. I'm not going to say it wasn't. Maybe it was. But they're in the San Fernando Valle, homie. They better have a whole truckload of water balloons if they're gonna be throwing water balloons at every raza that they see, dog. You know, they're gonna need I mean, we're in a drought, Holmes. You're gonna run out of water. Okay. Again, I'm not saying that it wasn't, and I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying the narrative already started getting pushed out there because they're white. All of a sudden they're skinheads. Maybe they are. Maybe they're not. I don't know. I didn't see anything that made them skinheads, but I'm not saying that they're not. Obviously, because they're white, it's racially motivated because it's another race. And there you guys go, right? I'll make a separate video on that. I don't want to get into it on this one. Why was it done? I couldn't tell you guys. You know, maybe they're drinking, whatever, dog. Just doing something dumb, just doing something stupid. But look, here's the thing, okay? Danny, I don't know how old he is. I think he's like 80 years old, 70, 80 years old, somewhere in between there. Getting off the ride, aggressively approaching. At some point, you know, you got to think of yourself, right? And what can you do and what can't you do? He got dropped pretty fast and pretty easily. You know, he's an old man. Obviously, in the heat of the moment, you're responding a certain way. That's, you know, it's important for everybody to, you know, stay in character and think, right? Have control of your emotions. Now, that's very easy for me to say that sitting here nice and comfortable, right? Nobody threw a water balloon at me, right? So it happened to him. So it's very easy to say that. Now, I personally would like to believe that I would have control over my emotions. I'm not saying I would, okay? Let's make that clear. I'm not saying I would. I'm just saying I like to believe that I would, okay? And get off and be like, hey, you know what, man? Why are you doing something like that? You know, come on, man. That's a classic ride. We're out here to have a good time, dog. Why would you do something like that? And probably make that person feel bad that they did it. You know, and you know, and when they see that, again, not everybody, but again, when people see something like that, they're like, they feel bad and they're like, you know what, man, I'm sorry. Here, let me get a towel and let me go ahead and wipe it up, man, or you know, dry it off, and I apologize. I was just being stupid. I was just doing something dumb. I don't know why I did. I'm sorry about that. Again, not to say that that's the way it would go down, okay? I'm just saying I like to believe that that's the way I would handle it, all right? And I like to believe that that's the way the person would respond. Not to say that that's how it would go down exactly, okay? Hold on, let this truck pass by. He's parking as well. Um, so Danny, in his case, he needs to start approaching things a little bit differently, because he can't really start swinging them like that, man. You know, we all saw what happened. And here's the thing when it comes to this, right? If they want to jump them and stomp them out, yeah, sure, maybe other people were going to get involved and stop them. But there could have been a lot of damage done, Holmes. There could have been a lot of damage done to the point where he could have been confined to a wheelchair. He could have been, messed up in the head. Something, dog, right? Now, I get it. He's from the streets, man. So, there's a certain bravado that comes with it, right? Of handling things a certain way, which is what I want to get to right now. Now, he did not... Hold on, man. Now dust is getting in here. Okay, now, he did not press charges. He did not get law enforcement involved or anything of that sort. I understand that. And many of you can understand that as well. But here's the thing. Should he? Because, honestly, I'm over here scratching my head about it a little bit. All right, now I can put it down. I'm over here scratching my head about it a little. And I'm thinking, like, yeah, homie, he had every right to, so many, including myself, have a big problem getting Johnny Law involved. I don't want to get Johnny Law involved in anything. I don't feel comfortable calling them. I don't feel comfortable talking to them. I don't feel comfortable with any of that. And I'm not an outlaw anymore, homie. I live my life, straight as an arrow, right? But I still don't want to be talking to Johnny Law or calling them or anything of that sort, right? But see, that's probably something that you need to get over. You pay taxes. They're there to work for you. But so many times, you don't use it. You just complain about, the hoodas, dog, but you never use them, and you pay for it, with your tax dollars. So I can understand why he didn't get, the law enforcement involved. I understand it, but is it right, though? Is it right that he didn't push charges? Maybe he should have. Again, I'm over here saying that, and I myself, I wouldn't have either. I wouldn't have got hoodas involved. I would just say, like, you know what? Nothing, dog. I would just brush the hoodas off, like, hey, dog, I'm getting back in the ride. I'm going. You know what I mean? But at the same time, that's probably the wrong approach in many ways. Like I said, we pay for their service. And I'm sure a lot of people would have liked for Danny to get law enforcement involved and have these people, pay for it, man. They assaulted an old man, right? After they, vandalized the vehicle and, threw throwing a water balloon at him. So maybe that's some mentality that people might want to change. Again, am I changing that? Maybe I should, but I'll be real with you guys. I'm not working on it. I'm not. Maybe I should, Holmes. Maybe I should. I don't know, man. It's gonna be kind of tough for me to. I don't know, dog. It's hard for me. I don't know, man. I don't like talking to Johnny Law, Holmes. But honestly, I don't look at it as wrong, because in all reality, again, we all pay for their service. So, I mean, if you choose not to get them involved, that's your choice. In this case, I wouldn't have had a problem if he did. So, again, it's very easy to say, hey, you know what? Let cool heads prevail when you're in the heat of that, to have control over your emotions. I'm reminded, and I told this story years ago, right? And I'm not going to tell it here. Just a little recap, man. Some dude was feeling himself, homie, that he was a little buzz, and he wanted to throw hands, dog. And he went outside to the parking lot, threw hands with some dude. He ended up paralyzed for the rest of his life. This was at a bar many years ago, man. I didn't really know the guy. He was a friend of a co-worker of mine. I went to go kick it with him afterwards. And, he was really feeling himself, dog. He wanted to throw chingazos. He saw some guy and, what's up, called him outside, and, they threw hands, dog. And he fell awkwardly on a parking stop. And for the rest of his life, he was confined to a wheelchair. Like, damn, you know what I mean? So in Danny's case, he's got to realize he's an older character. He's an older man. I find that when you just come at it a certain way, I've done dumb, stupid things myself, Holmes. Okay, I've done dumb, stupid things, vandalizing and stuff. And when people come at me overly aggressive, I kind of think like, you know what, I'll vandalize their thing next week or whatever it may be, right? But when people come at me, pretty humble, and it's like, come on, man, why would you do that? Like I worked hard on that, or when they come at me like that, I realize, like, you know what, man, I feel bad, and I don't, this sucks, Holmes. I feel so wrong that I did this, right? So I would try that approach. Again, like I said, just to cap it off, very easy for me to say that sitting here nice and comfortable, so let's just all try to keep control of our emotions, because it could get the better of us, and we don't know what the end game can be. Like I said, with him, that vato just threw one chingazo and dropped him, right? Hey, dog, what if everybody just started stomping him out? Like I said, maybe a lot of people would come to his rescue. Okay, cool, so be it. But it doesn't take a long time, Holmes. They could have been stomping him out, stomping on his head for 5. It just takes one good stomp on the head. Now you talk about, 5-10 seconds of just stomping the hell out of him. He could have died. He could have been paralyzed for life. He could have been mental in the brain, dog. For it could have been all but terrible for him. So and I don't know if I should put this out there, but someone told me this, that that dude Mario, I guess, he's, like I said, I've heard that he has a bad attitude. Again, I don't know that to be true, and there was an interaction between them beforehand, so I don't know that to be true either. So it's not from a credible source. I'll just tell you guys that much. So anyway, I'll just go ahead and leave you guys with that, man. Try to be control of your emotions, man. Think of the end game of a lot of these things. And again, not to say that my emotions don't get the best out of me, dog. Okay, so it's the battle. It's the battle here. It's the battle here, man. All right. As always, familia, live your life like you're on the road. Be aware of your surroundings, and always keep it safe. This is blood. Make sure you did it below. It makes family. Until next time, this is Ed the Troll Trucker. Over and out.